Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome back. My name's Will and this is the Wimmy YouTube channel. You know, I already gotta hit you with the quick sales pitch. If you get to the end of this video and you enjoyed it, you found it helpful, you like this type of content, you like the GX 550, you like the Ranger Raptor, you like the 1000 horsepower S650 Mustang, think about hitting that subscribe button down below. It's totally free to subscribe, just sends you a quick little notification whenever I'm posting something new. But if you don't want to subscribe, a like is always really appreciated as well, guys. Now, with that BS out of the way, we can get into today's video. So like the title says, we are going to be talking about my 2024 Lexus GX 550. Posted quite a few videos on this thing so far. It seems to be very popular on my channel, so appreciate all you guys that are staying tuned with all the updates on the GX 550. But I get a lot of questions regarding my whole build of my GX, the wheel setup, the lift, all the modifications required to get your GX to look like this. So I figured I would make a dedicated video today just answering a lot of the frequently asked questions that I get regarding my GX. Kind of just go over all the modifications, the price, where I got them from, just a few like feedbacks on, you know, how the car rides and all that, and if I were to do it again. But also I'm going to share a few wheel and tire setups where if you don't want to go as crazy as over the top as I did, like in regards to having to lift the vehicle, doing the bumper cut, all of that, these are just some specs that you can just more or less bolt on and go. So yep, let's get into the video. I'm going to start by just giving you a full rundown of my GX, and then we'll start breaking it down, you know, bit by bit on what I did with my GX and going over all the parts and all of that. So right over here is my 2024 GX 550. Excuse the appearance right now, it is a little bit dirty, but for those of you that have not seen my rig before, let me just give you a full visual walk around of it. As you can see there, let me go ahead and give you the quick poke so you can kind of see all of it right here from all angles to see if this is something you might be interested in. But yeah, we are on a lift kit, we're on some 22-inch wheels, and we are on some 35-inch tires. So now let's go into it in a little bit more detail, piece by piece. So first things first, let's talk about the suspension. This GX is lifted. It is on the Westcott 2.5-inch perch collar lift kit. This lift kit is a pretty affordable option. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily if you are going to be doing any sort of hardcore off-roading, wheeling, rock crawling, anything like that. That would probably be better suited to a full-on suspension lift, like going with like some Fox or Icon, something like that. But if you are going to be hitting the trails at your local Starbucks and Target and mall shopping plaza, I feel like the perch collar kit, perfect for you. Also, if you're going to be doing like light duty off-roading, I think you'd be perfectly fine with the perch collar kit. But like I said, this is from Westcott. It's around 500 bucks. I'll have a link down in the description below if you want to pick up one of these things. And like I said, it's perfect for just getting like that small lift so you can clear some bigger wheels and some bigger tires. And with the perch collar kit, it sits right on here with the stock suspension, and you can see it right there. So it just adds a little bit of preload to the front, so it supposedly stiffens up the suspension. I personally haven't felt any sort of difference in the suspension ride quality. It might be a little bit stiffer than stock, but honestly it's not all that noticeable. And in the front you have the perch collar, like I said, and like I just showed you, that lifts it 2.5 inches up in the front. And in the rear you just have your traditional spacer that sits up top, and that lifts it 3.25 inches, so 0.75 inches of lift. So that's what I'm running right now. An alternative suspension setup, if you don't want to go with the Westcott, is they have the Ready Lift as well, and more or less that's basically the same thing. It's another spacer lift. It's inexpensive. I would say it's good for light duty off-roading, but honestly the main purpose will just to get that desired stance and ride height and clear the tires and wheels that you want on your GX. So different strokes for different folks. You can go with Westcott. That's my personal preference. I absolutely love it, with well over 25,000 miles on mine now. No issues whatsoever. Really quality piece. But the Ready Lift is also another option. I can't really comment on it. I haven't used it, have no experience with it, but it is another option for you guys out there. The next thing I'll touch on are going to be the wheels, and these, for me anyway, were the most expensive part of my build. So for me, in this setup, we went with the Vossen hybrid forged wheels. These are the HF6-1 styles, so they have the multiple thin spokes set up here. My specs are a 22 by 9.5 plus 20 offset. So for a 22, in my opinion, this is a pretty aggressive offset, and it gives it definitely a nice bit of poke, as you can see there. So try and get you as flush as possible, so you get a little bit of poke that's coming through. I get a lot of hate and all of that from people regarding these wheels, because everyone assumes, oh, if you have a GX, you're supposed to be off-roading it. But let's be real, a very, very small percentage of people that are buying these GXs right now are actually off-roading them. Not to say that's everybody, but I would say the vast majority of people are not off-roading them. These are pavement princesses. And to piggyback off of that, this is my wife's SUV. She is not, hitting the trails, and for what it's worth, we live in South Florida. We do not have any off-roading here. So yeah, all the GXs and Range Rovers and Broncos and Jeeps and all that in South Florida, yeah, we're not hitting the trails, guys. We're hitting the Target parking lot here. So yeah, that's what this GX is used for. It's a mom rig, but that's why we went with the more stancy, kind of like showy option here with the GX. Not that I really have to justify anything to you guys, but that's what we decided to do with this one. And obviously everyone is going to have different style preferences with their wheel and tire setup. You can go with 20s, you can go with 21s, you can go with 24s, you can go with 18s if you wanted to. We just decided to go with 22s. Think that was the nice sweet spot with the GX. Didn't want to go any bigger than that, and honestly didn't really want to go any smaller than that either. So the tire setup we decided to go with on our GX is the Nitto Recon Grappler. I've used trail grapplers in the past, but decided to go with the all-terrain Recon Grappler for these, and honestly they have been wearing and riding perfectly fine. Very minimal on-road noise. They're really good in wet conditions. It rains all the time in South Florida, so I really didn't want anything that was going to be hydroplaning, which was why we kind of stayed away from any sort of mud terrain. So with the Recon Grapplers being an all-terrain, they do really drive great on road, and definitely when it's nice and slick outside in the rain. We are running a 285/55/22. So that is on the higher side for running a 22-inch wheel setup on the GX. Even with it being lifted, you are definitely gonna need a lift if you want to run this size wheel and tire setup. To go a little bit more and piggyback off of that, I don't know if you noticed, but right there you can see we had to do the bumper cut. So get a lot of questions regarding this, where you need to cut, and if you are one of those people, pay attention to this part. So as you can see right here, the bumper no longer follows the downward flow like it would, stock. We had to take this part of the bumper off right here. So we had to cut right here. They did a really good job with the cut. It's really blended in there. Take your time doing this cut. On the inside right there, you can see the fender liner and all that still goes in, and it all like meets up really nicely. So it doesn't look like jagged or haggard or anything like that. But yeah, this portion of the bumper definitely needs to be cut when you're running a 20 offset, especially even like with these wheels and tires. I even think if you were running, let's say like the 30 offset, which is another really common offset with the Vossens, I really do think you would still need to do this bumper trim right here, because when you do go to turn it in, this tire is going to hit right on there. And when we were test fitting it and all of that, as soon as you would start to turn the wheel left and this would start to pivot inward, it was pushing the bumper up completely. So you wouldn't even be able to drive without doing this bumper cut. I will also say at full lock turn, if I'm turning and I hit any sort of like dip in the road or anything, like I have a drain at the bottom of my driveway, and if I'm full turn into the driveway and the tire's completely at lock and I hit that drain, I do rub a little tiny bit on the inside. It's nothing noticeable. I'm not too concerned with that, which is why we didn't do any trimming on the inside. But just, you know, to preface that, I like to be fully transparent. You will get a very, very, very minor slight rub to it. This is probably the most frequently asked question I get. Yes, that's the trim right there that I'm referring to. And I'll show you it from this angle again as well. And yes, you will need to trim the bumper if you want to run this wheel and tire setup. There's a bunch of different wheels, tires, suspension setups that you can go with, but like I said, we're talking about mine right here. So yes, you definitely need to lift it and you definitely need to trim the bumper. I have seen a few other people running different specs, like a 265/50 or going with a 285 but then going with a 9 wide with like a 40 offset. You know, stuff like that will get you a little bit more clearance, but for this wheels and tires, lift and a bumper cut. All right, so now let's break down the cost of the build. So like I said before, the most expensive part are gonna be the wheels on mine. Like I said, I'm running the Vossens 22 by 9.5 plus 20 offset hybrid forged, the HF 6-1 wheels, and those came in at $3,200. And you know, wheels can be like $1,000, it could be $5,000. It's just gonna depending on the wheel that you want. So tires, like I said, I went with the Nitto Recon grapplers. They are 285/55, like a 34-inch tire. Those said and done were $2,200. I picked those up from Tire Rack. I love Tire Rack because they have the road hazard protection for 2 years, and it is well worth spending a little bit more money on Tire Rack and having that protection plan. So Tire Rack always has my business, so $2,200 for that. The lift kit, honestly, is super affordable. $500 for the Westcott lift, billet, perch collar setup for the money. I don't think you can do any better than that. So $500 for there. Installation is going to be totally dependent and variable and subjective on where you're getting it done. I got mine done at a local off-road shop that kind of specializes in like off-road and also kind of specializes in doing lifts on like G-Wagons and Escalades and stuff like that. So it was really affordable, only $500 for the suspension install, and then followed up by a $200 alignment. So $700 to get like everything installed, and that was including like the bumper cut and all of that as well. And then after that, did have to buy a set of aftermarket lug nuts. With aftermarket wheels, can't use the stock lug nuts, so that was $150. So all said and done, as you can see right here with my horrible handwriting, $6,750 for my setup, including install. So yeah, it's expensive. It's a big pill to swallow, but you can, you know, play around with the numbers. If you are on a budget, you can go with a less expensive wheel, or you can go with a more expensive wheel. You can go with cheaper tires or more expensive tires. So I would say anywhere between like that $5,000 to $7,000 mark, you can get your GX kind of sitting the same way. So yeah, like I said, guys, there's a bunch of different wheels and tire and lift options you can go with your GX. If you don't want to do, you know, this type of suspension lift, you can obviously, you know, be a big baller and go with some Kings or Icons, and you know, that is going to be way more suited for your purpose if you're going to be off-roading and stuff like that. If you don't like, you know, the stand style 22s, you can go with like an 18. You could be a big baller and go with some TE37 XLs. That's what I'm going to be putting on the Ranger Raptor. So if you want to put that on the GX, I support it. That shit's badass. So yeah, this is just, you know, what I wanted to do with the GX because it's not going to be off-roaded. But yeah, and then even like with tires, you know, if you wanted to go with a smaller tire or a larger tire, you know, obviously you can play around with it. You know, obviously like there's like a cause and effect with everything, right? If you go with like a less aggressive wheel, you can fit a more aggressive tire. But if you want to go with a more aggressive tire, you're going to have to go with a less aggressive wheel. So yeah, if you have any questions regarding like stance and wheel setups and all of that, you can comment down below. I'll try my best to answer you guys. But you know, right off the bat, I've seen like, you know, people running a 265/50 on a 22 or a 20 with like a 9.5-inch wheel without doing any sort of cuts and doing any sort of lifts. But then I've also seen people doing a 285, 55 same size tire and with a 22, but going with like a 9 wide with like a 40 offset, which is a higher offset with the wheels are going to be pushing a little bit more, less poke, and they are not having to do any lift and no bumper cup. So again, it's all cause and effect. So yeah, do your research before you buy wheels and tires. If you want to hit me up, I'll be more than glad to help you guys out. All right guys, so that's going to do it for this one. Quick video, just wanted to highlight, you know, the specs of my build, go over a few things, share some information with you guys. Got a lot of questions from people asking, you know, hey, what are the wheel specs? What are the tire specs? What are the lift specs? How much did it cost? Did you have to do any trimming? So hopefully this video really helps you guys out there answering your questions. But if it didn't, go down in the comments, comment. I always try my best to reply to everybody. So if you have any other further questions, jump down below, you know, write it out in there and I will do my best to answer it correctly. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to stay tuned for more build content, hit that subscribe button, totally free. If you enjoyed the video, a like is always awesome to receive as well. My name is Will, this is the Wimby YouTube channel, and I'll see you all in the next one, everybody. Later.